Today we're looking at this Crunch V-200. Now I bought this a while back. I bought it on Marketplace. It was local to me, so I picked it up. And it was real cheap. And I was expecting something to be wrong with it, and there is. So this channel, or these inputs, for whatever reason, are loose. And you kind of have to move the RCA left and right a little bit, and then it'll make contact and both I guess inputs work. But anyways, we'll take care of that, or at least try to. What I'm going to do today is show off my V-200 here, clean it up a little bit because it is very dirty. As you guys can see, there's this side here. There's dirt all over it. And this side's the dirtiest, I think. I mean, look at that. Pretty bad. So we're gonna try to clean this up just lightly and show you guys the guts, and then put it on the test bench and see what kind of numbers it does. So this is a 2-channel, I believe. It's got a left and a right there. So let me just show you guys this amp before I clean it up. So let's take a closer look. So here's the front of it, and in my post I mentioned that this is one of my favorite amplifiers, and this is why. It's got 2 VU meters, and for whatever reason I really like how these look and move around. So they both work. This lights up. But yeah, those light up for me. They move around. And as you can see, this top plate here, it's got a little bit of scuffs here and there. But it's no big deal. Amplifier works. Drive series. Crunch USA. But yeah, it's the V-200. 200 watts RMS. Got some Allen screws. Okay, and those do come off. They're not fake. So that's the top face of it. A lot of little dirt everywhere. So it's going to be kind of fun cleaning this up. And here's this side of the amplifier. Hopefully you guys can see. So that's the input. That's the, oh, excuse me guys, give me one sec. Sorry about that, guys. So that's the high level input, and then we got the level, or the gain. And then on this side, you get a switch here with a low, flat, and high position. Alright, and then you get a dial to adjust your frequencies. As you can see there, that's your high frequency adjustment, and that's your low frequency adjustment. And you also get a bass boost, so that's pretty cool. And over here you get a line out, so that's really nice. So like I mentioned, this is the V-200 MOSFET mobile amplifier, 200 watts RMS, active XO network. And the very cool part, and we'll see if this is true, 1 ohm stable. Crunch USA. API. Okay. I like it. Now here's this side of the amplifier. Alright. So there's your speaker connections. Left and right. And these screws look a little bit rusty, like some water fell on it. Alright. Right there it says stereo min. So minimum of 2 ohms per channel, it says. On the bottom of this speaker connection, you'll see a little mono symbol. Alright, and then so the farthest left is your positive for mono, and your farthest right is your negative. Okay, And it says right there, mono 4 ohm minimum. So again, we'll be testing this out. And here's your power connections. The first one is ground. The next one is remote, which they call turn on. One that follows is 12 volt. And then the fuse here, the 25 amp fuse. Then you got two LEDs. You got a protect LED and a power green LED. Very cool. So again, we're gonna clean this up. And we'll see what we can do about this RCA input. We'll see if we can do anything for it. I'm not exactly sure how to fix that, but we'll poke at it and see what we can do. So let me open this up. I'll show you guys the guts, and we'll start to poke at that RCA. So give me one sec, guys. I'm gonna grab some tools and we'll go from there. So I'll be right back. Okay, here we go. Let's open this up. And here we go, guys. Let's see what's inside. Wow. It's a nice looking board, but I'm not exactly sure what I'm looking at. It looks nice to me. Again, Crunch USA V-200. Very nice. I've always liked these blue boards. Everything looks untouched, which is great. And again, there's some rust right there. So maybe this thing at one point was kind of sitting in some kind of water. Because even the bottom of the lid, when I put it down, I noticed that it's got some rust on it too. Now I know it works because I've powered it up and, you know, played some music through it. That's how I know that one RCA has a little funny issue. But yeah, either way, we're gonna try to poke at this, get it working properly, and throw it on the test bench. But yeah, this amplifier inside doesn't look like it has very much, but we'll see what kind of power it makes. And I'm just gonna show you guys any print that's on whatever these are. Okay, so these guys right here say 35 volt, 2200, I think that's UF. So if you guys know what those are, there you guys go. And these over here are the same exact thing, same print. 25 volt, 2200. But everything else kind of small. Okay, so I'm gonna put you guys down, and what I'm gonna do is try to take this end off here, and I want to see if I can get to the top half of this RCA, because you don't see any solder joints on this half. Hopefully you guys can see. So I'm gonna take this plate off and see what that brings. So I'll be right back. Okay guys, so I got the cover off here, and I'm just trying to show you guys what I found. So I'm gonna put some extra light, hopefully you guys can see. So on top of this board, you see these pins that go through the board. I know the GoPro here isn't the best at zooming in close, but there's 3 pins. There's one here, okay, and then there's one here, and there's one to the left here. All right, so I was just poking at this, just wiggling it. I'm just trying to get the right amount of light to show you guys. And I moved it around, and I see that the left post here, the pin moves around and is free from that little solder bubble right here. So what I'm going to try to do is resolder that. So what I'm going to try to do is just kind of leave it all in place there, get in there, heat it up, and rework that. So give me 1 sec, guys. I'm not going to show you guys because that is kind of a pain to do. So I'll be right back. Hopefully this goes well. I'll be right back. Okay, guys, don't worry about this USB. Just propping this board down. But yeah, I soldered that back up. Hopefully showing you guys behind this magnifying glass can make it a little bit easier to see. So I resoldered it, and I move around the RCA input, and it's this little ball right here. Okay, so now when I move it around, the whole board moves and that little pin stays put. So I'm glad I did that, and yeah, I'm happy. So what I'm going to do is just kind of get this back in shape. Move my board prop out. And we'll start cleaning this up and just clean up a little bit. And yeah, I'll be right back. Okay, so what I'm gonna do next is clean up this end. As you can see, it's really dirty. The way I'm gonna do that is just use some quick detailer. Nothing fancy. I love this stuff here. This stuff works great. This company makes some good stuff. Just a little bit out of nowhere. And we'll see how good we can get this cleaned up. And I'm not trying to do some crazy detail here. This amplifier isn't in the greatest shape, so as long as it's a little cleaner than it was before, I'm okay with that. Oh yeah, it's already looking way better. I'll show you guys when I'm done here. Again, this is just a quick little detail. I'm just glad that I was able to fix that RCA input. I didn't know what I was gonna find. So here we go, guys. Look at that. Whole lot cleaner. Okay, what I'm gonna do before I put that end plate on is clean this edge. Okay, that's a lot better. I'm gonna spray some deoxit inside that switch. This stuff is great. Okay, I sprayed the switch. Seems to be moving a little easier. Let me just show you guys there was a little rust. Not sure if you guys can see that, but there was a little bit of surface rust on the switch, but that's gone. So that's a plus. All right, let's put this plate back on. So what I'm going to do is the other side now. And I already took 2 of them out. Alright, so here's the other end, and as you can see, this thing is nasty. And here's one of the screws, and it's stripped out. I tried to remove it, but it just kept spinning and it wouldn't come out. So I pulled it out. I didn't cause it. I believe whatever happened, it was like that. So I'm gonna clean this up and we'll get a before and after on this one too. Look at that, big difference. So I'm gonna do the same and clean the end before I put that plate back. Now I'm going to try to remove these screws here. Oh, nice. They come out. Okay, so that end is looking a whole lot better. I'm happy with that. These screws turned out real clean, so that's really nice. And the next thing I'm going to do is work on this front face of the amplifier. So I'm going to take this plate off, or at least try to, and we'll see what we can do about this plastic and clean up the front of it. So let's do that next. Okay. Wow. So first thing I'm going to do is clean this up a little bit. Cleaned up a little bit. Not too bad. So that front piece was screwed down, and it also had some two-face tape on the meters here. These meters, or the plastic that's covering them, isn't in bad shape, so I'm just going to lightly clean them up. And this is the cleaner I like to use for plastics. Start with 3, go to 2, and then go to 1. Okay, I got that done. Now it's not the best, but it definitely looks a lot better than before. So I'm happy. I mean, look at that. If you guys are looking for something to clean up some plastic, this stuff works great. I found it on Amazon. All right, so let's just keep going here. My next step is cleaning the face of it. So I'm just gonna use the detailer again. All right, that looks a lot better. I'm just gonna put the front piece on, but before I do that, it was stuck on there with two-faced tape, so I'm just gonna apply some very thin stuff, and that'll probably keep that from moving around. All right, so I got some very thin 30-second two-faced tape. Hopefully it's not too thick, and it does the job. Okay, let's put this back. Oh, that worked out perfect. Good. So all the screws that I've been taking off, I've been putting them in a little cup full of CLR, just to get rid of some of that surface rust. So just so you guys know. So let me put these 3 screws back into place. This is looking a lot better. A whole lot cleaner. It's actually got a little bit of a shine to it now. So I'm happy. What I'm going to do next is putting these screws back in their spot. I had those screws sitting in some CLR, so we'll see how good they cleaned up. Okay, not much of a difference, but that's okay. This one actually looks really good. And so does this one. Not bad at all. Okay, so got those done. The worst one was this one right here. And what I might do is just take it off and pass it through the wire brush. And then more than likely it's gonna get rid of some of that gold coating on there. But that's okay as long as it doesn't look rusty. So let me go do that real quick and I'll be right back. Okay, so I ran it through the wire brush and turned out all right. I got rid of the rust and kept some of the gold, so I'm happy. Let's put that back. And I'm going to replace the fuse. Now it used to have a 25 amp fuse. From what I saw online and read through a manual, is that they either want you to put a 30 or a 40, and that service manual that I have is for a 4-channel, so I'm just going to go with a 30 for right now and see what happens. Okay guys, so that's what that looks like. Looks pretty good. The last thing to do is put the bottom cover on. And she's back together. All right, so I'm going to clean up a little bit and then I'll show you guys the end result here. And here it is. I definitely think it's a big improvement. Like I said, this isn't a major detail. I just wanted to somewhat clean it up and not have it look so dirty. But yeah, she turned out real good. Here's all the screws. Nice and clean. Alright, so next is to put it on the test bench. As you see, I gotta move some stuff around, so let me hook this up, let me get this ready, and I'll be right back. Okay guys, so I got everything wired up, ready to go. So what we're gonna do first is run a 2 ohm load in stereo at 40 hertz. And the only reason why is because on the amplifier, right there, there's some print that tells you that in stereo you should run 2 ohms minimum. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to start off with 2 ohms and then we'll come back to it and see if we can run a 4 ohm load and see what we get with that. I just don't want the amplifier to go into protect and maybe not be able to come out of protect. So let's just keep going here. Okay guys, so here we go. So we're sitting at 14.4. The AMM1 is on, and I'm just gonna turn up the head unit. All right, so we're seeing a total of 86 watts per channel at 2 ohms. So the next test we're going to run is that 1 ohm test. Let's see what happens with that. I got it wired up to 1 ohm. And let's hope this amplifier doesn't go straight into protect and stay there. So let's cross our fingers, let's turn this on, and let's see if this amplifier can do 1 ohm. Okay, we got a green light, that's a plus. So again, 1 ohm load and 40 hertz signal in stereo. Let's see what it can do here. Okay, here we go. So we're sitting at 14.3, no gain. Here we go. Wow, okay. So again, it's actually making less power now at 1 ohm, 83 watts. So now we're gonna do the bridge mode, what they call mono. We're gonna do a 4 ohm load first and go from there. So let's do that. 4 ohm load mono. So I got this all wired up and it is in 4 ohm and I got it bridged. So let's start this up and we'll see what it does. Amplifier's good, sitting at 14.3. Turning up the head unit. 42 watts at idle. Here we go. 141 watts I saw for a second there. Okay, so there you guys go. 136 watts. 4 ohm load. Bridged. So the next test is going to be a 2 ohm load. So let me wire this up. So this is going to be a 2 ohm run, bridged. At idle, I'm already seeing 83 watts. So let's turn this up. Okay, so there we go. There's clip. I'm gonna go right under it. 119. Wow. 119 watts max. So the next one is 1 ohm. So let's do that. Wired this down to 1 ohm. And realistically, this should be our highest number. But it seems like every time I go down in ohm, the amplifier doesn't like it. So we'll see what happens this time. Maybe this time it'll surprise us. So here we go, 1 ohm load, bridged. Okay, amplifier is fine. We've got a green light. And again, same result. 83 watts as soon as I turn it up. It goes right into clip. Alright, we're pretty much all done with the 40 hertz. I'm just gonna go back and do the 4 ohm run and see what that brings. So let's go do that real quick. It's in stereo, so let's see if the amplifier likes it or not. Okay, so it's powered up. We got a green light, and let's see what happens here. So at idle, we're seeing 10 watts. Turn this up. Wow. Okay, just under clip, 59 watts at 4 ohms, stereo. So we're gonna do the 1 kilohertz tests now. We'll see if the numbers stay consistent. Okay guys, here we go. First of the 1 kilohertz tests here. So we have 4 ohm load and it's in stereo. So let's give this a try. Turn this up. Let's see what we get. 4 ohm load. Wow. Okay, so we got it in 2 ohms. So we'll see what happens here. Again, 1 kilohertz signal, and we'll see what this does. There we go, 32 watts. Let's turn this up. Okay. 83 watts max. All right, so I got this wired down to 1 ohm. So let's give this a test. Turning up the head unit. Here we go, 61 watts at idle. And there you guys go. 83 watts. The last test I want to show you guys is playing some music. So yeah, let's listen to this guy and we'll close up this video. So here we go, guys. you guys heard it. Sounds real good to me, and I'm not exactly sure why. So it's wired to 2 ohms bridged, and that only gives me 119 watts max. And for whatever reason, to me, this sounds real good. Now during testing, I had this amplifier on flat, so it was never in the low or high range. It was always on flat, just so you guys know. And one thing I wanted to include in this video is the owner's manual that I had just to look through. So I'll do that right now in case you guys just want to look for yourselves. And I know that owner's manual is for 4-channel, but I'm sure you can use that information and apply it to this amplifier, which is the 2-channel version. But yes, I'm happy we cleaned this up. I'm really happy I fixed the RCA input. That's no longer an issue. Sounds good. Doesn't make the power that I thought it was gonna make, but that's okay because I still love this guy. And I think part of the reason why I maybe like it so much is because I had this when I was younger. I remember back in the day, I bought one brand new at Best Buy. It was the 4-channel version. I'm not sure which model it was because it was a while back. And I think that adds to the reason why I like this amplifier so much. So as far as our testing went, if you're gonna use this amplifier in stereo as a subwoofer amp, you're best to use it in a 2 ohm load. And in bridge, you're best to use it in a 4 ohm load. And if you're going to use it for highs, you're best to use it in either 2 or 1 ohm. Oh, and scratch this. I don't know why I wrote it, but you wouldn't use an amplifier like that. And there you guys go. We tackled a lot, we took care of a lot, and you guys got to see another piece of my collection. So, alright guys, well thanks for watching. And if you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. So I'll see you guys on the next one.